The following conversation is an example of how Collier County adult education instructors, along with the student advisor who share the same students, meet on a weekly basis to discuss strategies addressing individual student barriers common to the adult education student. These student success plan conversations are typically brief, 10 to 15 minutes in length. The goal is to proactively address barriers to ensure student retention, student completion, and their transition to their future goals.
Good morning, guys. How are you today?
Great.
Great. Thanks for coming together. I think on our agenda today we're going to talk about some of the obstacles that we as a department overcome in our adult ed world, and we're going to brainstorm how we can do it more efficiently and also celebrate what we've done so far.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
All right. The first challenge that we have consistently been faced with is the challenge of residency issues and of funding. I know this is an issue for several students, and what have we done that's been working? Do we have any examples, or can we brainstorm anything we should be doing more of?
And for residency, it's not really the residency of if you're here in the country legally, but more of Florida residency for tuition purposes. Have you been in the state of Florida for a year? Are you able to prove that you've been in the state of Florida for a year? And if you haven't, then how can we still get you into the programs downstairs for CTE, and what are our choices that we have? So luckily we have scholarships. Many of our students are unaccompanied youths, so they're here and technically they're considered homeless students. So they have areas through there that can also help the homelessness. Our scholarship programs that we have, our free programs that we are offering that don't require that. For example, the two students who took the IT class at night, that was free for them, and then they're also facing those type of challenges trying to get into our CTE programs. Luckily, we were able to assist them with that, and now they have a path of which way they're going. They are not traveling together, but they're traveling independently. One going into accounting, the other one going into database. So we were able to help with that situation, but there's many other students who have different obstacles or different ways, and not sure how are we going to get that proof for residency. But got to make them know that that should be the least of their worries.
So can I ask a question? If a student is concerned about residency for whatever reasons, what's the first thing that we typically give them as an option?
Great question.
So everyone is individualized, so it really is a one-on-one basis, because one, we may be able to offer, for example, homelessness. That's very simple. Oh, I've been staying in St. Matthews, so we can go ahead and give them that. But others, unaccompanied youths, then we've got to find other ways to help them, even though they're homeless. How can we prove that they're homeless? Who are they here with? Where are their parents? Or maybe we have a parent who's just not living in the state of Florida, and they came down to live with an aunt or uncle.
Okay.
So everyone is different, so it really is a one-on-one conversation, and from there we take it forward.
So the students really shouldn't get stuck and worried about that part of it, because we have things in place that we can try with, for instance, the two students that we were thinking about here. We had things in place that we could give options, and it sounds like it was successful.
And it seems like the solution is meeting one-on-one and taking it case by case.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Another issue that we have talked about, or opportunity to develop further, is the difficulty of an exam or a particular section of an exam. I know we all can think of students who just get stuck on one thing or can't reach that target number.
Exactly.
How are we overcoming those obstacles?
I can think of one student in particular that is getting stuck on one GED academic area, in particular math. This student whizzed through 3 of the content areas, but then gets stuck on the one. So what things can we do for her? I think I heard someone say perhaps we can increase the amount of time.
Yeah, well, I think I know who you're referring to, and her and other students, what we've been able to do is make a flexible schedule for her. And if a student is stuck on math, for example, we will have them double enrolled in a math class so that they can receive their 3 hours of adult education in the content area that they need. Really allows them to focus in on that one area.
Now, have you been able to see progress when we've done that?
Oh, absolutely. And traditionally, I find that it's going to be either the reading trackers or the math. So I have seen many students come through and do double readings, and their scores have gone up
Okay,
a
so
lot
it's
by the extra practice and the attention and
successful.
actually the focus.
It's a good option.
It's a
in other
great
words.
option. The flexible scheduling is huge for our student success there.
Okay,
But also your health bridge class.
absolutely. Yeah, what's really awesome about that is what I see happening a lot is people from other cultures, other countries, come here and they still want to practice the profession that they had in their country. It's still a passion, but there are many obstacles in this country.
And I think through your health bridge, they're able to see other options
Absolutely.
that are available, that you're not necessarily having to focus on only one class. This is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. Well, there's other ways to get to that class.
Mm-hmm.
There's other programs that maybe can help you get to that class, because you may have the employment knowledge because you've been employed in that field for so long. However, meeting those requirements to get into the program to then get some type of a certification or licensure is keeping you from getting into that program. But if you do those meeting in the classrooms, going into the classroom, the student that went and visited the classroom, she was there for about 3 hours and she interacted with the students. She got to see what the class was all about. She had no idea what this medical assisting class was. She thought, no, practical nursing, practical nursing, practical nursing. Well, you're not a practical nurse, but you're still in that medical field,
Right.
doing some of those things that a practical nurse does, but not at maybe at a higher level, or maybe not as much responsibility. That doesn't require that extra basic skill knowledge.
Yeah, I think
So she was able to say, okay, wait a minute,
Mhm.
let me put
I
a
love
pause on my practical nursing because I've been working on it for so long, and let me try the medical assisting.
Right.
And this is going to, she's enrolled actually in the class that she'll be starting in August. So little goals,
Right.
different paths.
I think that we've been able to make gains in that area by having those flexible schedules so they get more time in their area they need development in.
Right.
And also I think by finding a different route to get to the goal. Those are the ways we've overcome that, I think, as a team and as a campus, so that they can get where they want, but it's obtainable. And if they need focus in on one or two skills, our flexible scheduling has
Exactly.
allowed that. Okay, another obstacle that we talked about was the students that come in our classroom and are closed off, are unclear of their intention, they're withdrawn, they're distracted, they don't really know why they're in our building or in our classroom, and they tend to come frequently, but they don't necessarily engage in the learning environment. How are we addressing that? What are we going to do about this?
That's a tough one. It is, and I remember saying to myself more than once, I'm working harder than they are. This is not the way it's supposed to be. So, we have tried various things, and I think we still need to continue our repertoire of things that we can try with them. One of the things that we've been able to do recently with a student is give that student options for a whole day of being here.
Right.
And those options sort of gave him a new look at where he was and where he maybe wanted to go. So that's one thing we've done. We've individualized his day and his variety of
Yeah.
options.
I think he's in the automotive, is that correct?
Yes, he was able to go into our IET program. For 3 hours, goes into the automotive auto service tech program, and then in the afternoon he comes to our GED program. And I think that's a lot of our students who are coming out of K-12, those 16, 17-year-olds who can't find their way in high school. It's just not for them anymore. For whatever reason,
Right.
they weren't successful there, and they've got to get their GED if they're going to move forward in anywhere in life. Or maybe it's just their parents making them want to
Right.
come, so they really don't know why they're here. But those type of programs that, again, we're lucky that we have those programs right on campus, that we can communicate with the teachers. Can they come and visit? Can they look in the program and make sure that it is what they're looking for? Give them a purpose of, oh, this is really what I want. So I need to be successful here to get to there.
Right.
And if I can do both, how can we do both? What are the, requirements that are needed? What do you expect from me? What do I expect from you? And sometimes it's those weekly meetings with the student. Okay, you're here today, but you weren't doing so great last week. What do we need to improve so that you can get to there? Because you've got 2 programs now. But I do see that a lot in our young youth.
Right.
Mostly in our young youth is they don't know why they're here.
No, and I think bringing in the programs and giving them a purpose for attending the GED classes because they know why they're taking them. And the other part I heard you say that is so valuable are the accountability meetings, right? I think
Right.
the one thing we do so great is we hold our students accountable and we meet with them and we check in with them and we build a rapport with them, right? So when they come, they belong to something. That
Exactly.
particular student, I couldn't believe it. He went to go take a practice test and the whole classroom community came together to rally around him. He's very easily distracted. One student suggested that the teacher, me, hold the phone so during the practice test he wasn't distracted. Another teacher told him, please go in the quiet office so that you can do the best you can. And I think it gave that student an opportunity to look around and say, wow, I'm part of something, right? I belong here. These people care about me. When you have those feelings, I think your motivation and your connectivity and your why, your focus and purpose really goes up.
So another area that I wondered about and I've noticed is some of our students take their own route to get where they want to
Yes.
go, and we allow them to do that. And that's, to me, that is individualized education,
Yeah.
when we allow them to take the path that makes the most sense to them. And I remember one of our students, well, currently,
Yep.
she is working now on her GED. She started in the ESOL classes and was with us and has been with us for a while, determined,
Right.
motivated, was going to do this her way, and she has. So the options that we gave her allowed her to work at her own pace and to build her confidence.
Yeah.
That's the part that was really awesome to see. So help me remember this correctly. She was in ESOL,
Yep.
and then she went into the home health aid class, which is the CTE side of things. She really gained confidence in the home health aid class, and now she's coming back and working on her GED. So are there any challenges that you notice with her at this point? I have her in the morning, and she's still very determined and is working on some of those content classes, but I think, or content tests.
Yes.
But I think
I have her in a reading class, another way that we've overcome it, and it's almost as if she has gaps in her knowledge. She has her language ability has developed so much. She can communicate and she can express herself, but there's gaps in content knowledge.
Okay.
And I think she receives 3 hours of reading and 3 hours of math. And by getting that extra time, she's able to build those skills that she did maybe not receive in her home country. And it makes her feel she's making progress. She finished one thing, and she took her own way around it. She didn't do the traditional path, and I think we have allowed that and encouraged it.
right.
But many of our students face those challenges. And again, it's good that we do have those programs, and that was another one of our free programs that they were able to take advantage of. And we had a few of our students who took advantage of that program. Some that are no longer with us because they have completed their GED and now are looking into other programs to start downstairs. So yeah, those gaps and those learning, but they're slowly coming into their own, feeling comfortable, feeling confident, and ready for that next step, that next level.
We have another obstacle we'd like to talk about, and that is transferable skills. We have so many talented students, and we need to think about how can we transfer the skills they already have into what they want to be doing.
You're right, because many of our ESOL students that we have come from other countries with master's degrees in various programs, education, architecture, digital design. So they already professionals in their country. How do we get them to become professionals in our country? Where can we send them to? How can we help them get those skills so that they are ready? I mean, just our student that we have here, who now is our student worker, but her biggest struggle was English, learning the English, and then finding a job. So we were able to help her get started. Yeah, because there are many options, career source, but we have also, like I said, the homeless program that can help with different options, getting their transcripts evaluated so that they can go on to the next level, do those requirements, meet it, and maybe they just don't need those programs here anymore, because once they meet that evaluation that says, yes, it is at that level, they can go into employment.
Right.
Which is what many of them are looking for, is to get to that
Exactly.
employability level.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. I think we've continued to overcome any obstacles that come our way by being a strong team and taking students as individuals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.